Here are 5 critical business success lessons from the book of Ecclesiastes. And the first one, Ecclesiastes 11 verse 1 says, "Send your grain across the seas, and in time profit will flow back to you." So what exactly does this metaphor mean? What this simply means is that the secret to success is to invest what you have. How do I know that? When you look at 1 Kings chapter 10, where the scriptures talk about the wealth of King Solomon, in verse 22, it says, "For the king had merchant ships at sea with the fleet of Hiram. Once every 3 years, the merchant ships came bringing gold, silver, ivory, apes, and monkeys. So the king surpassed all the kings of the earth in riches and in wisdom." So Solomon was actually telling us precisely what he was doing. He was releasing his resources for traders to go and invest them. These merchant ships, they go and buy and then they resell. And then in 3 years' time, in due time, they bring back the profits to him. Business secret number 2, verse 2 tells us, "But divide your investments among many places, for you do not know what risks might lie ahead." So obviously, from experience, a ship can sink. So Solomon is telling you, don't put your resources in one place. Diversify, invest in several places, because risks can befall any single one of those investments. But the chances of risks befalling every single one of them is quite low. Verse 3 tells us the business secret number 3, "When clouds are heavy, the rains come down. Whether a tree falls north or south, it stays where it falls." One common thing in business is that people give up, and most of the times people give up just when they were very close to a big hit or a breakthrough. So Solomon is telling us, whatever you're doing as effort, you're actually heaping up clouds. It's like you're gathering clouds, and when the clouds are full, they rain. The rain is the rewards of your investment and your efforts in your business or in your career, in your field, whatsoever you're engaging in for profit. And I think the metaphor for whether a tree falls north or south, it stays where it falls, is to express the unchanging nature of your reward. When a huge tree in the forest falls, it falls and lands wherever it lands. That's where the tree will remain. It doesn't automatically change to somewhere else. So you have that guarantee that your effort will be rewarded once your clouds are full. So you don't give up. One of my best business secret number 4, and we see that from verse 4 to 5, it says, "Farmers who wait for the perfect weather never plant." King James says, "He that observeth the wind shall not sow." So if you have to keep looking at the market, looking at all the risks and the tides and everything that is going on, hoping that you can find the perfect time to finally start your business, start whatever you're dreaming or passionate about, or invest, then you're never going to do it. And he goes further to explain to us why in verse 5, "Just as you cannot understand the path of the wind or the mystery of a tiny baby's bones growing in its mother's wombs, so you cannot understand the activity of God who does all things." Which obviously tells us that there is a certain level of mystery. You can't control absolutely everything. So once you have taken all that you can control, you must always take that leap of faith to do things and trust that when your clouds are full, your rain will fall. And the last but not the least, business secret number 5, verse 6 tells us, "Plant your seed in the morning and keep busy all afternoon, for you do not know if profit will come from one activity or another, or maybe both." So King Solomon is telling us, when you come back from work after a long day, don't just slouch on your couch and Netflix all night till the next day. Another translation says, "Plant your seed in the morning, and in the evening do not be idle." So even after you've invested all your efforts during the day, in the evening, create time to still explore, learn something new, be preparing to do something else, try another investment, work on something else. But full disclaimer, before you get uncomfortable, this scripture is not telling us that you can have some fun, you can watch a movie after a long hard day. No, it's saying that you cannot be idle. So there is a time for food, there is a time to work, there is a time for pleasure, and there is a time to still diversify your opportunities and let not your hands be idle. So those are the 5 critical business secrets from the wealthiest man who ever lived. The scripture tells us. Do you practice any of these in your life so far, and which of them have you been failing in right now? You see, it's important when we hear God made King Solomon the wealthiest man, or God promised to make him the wealthiest man, we think it was just automatic, and he woke up the next morning lazing around. God had said, "I'll be the wealthiest man who ever lived," and suddenly there were trunks of gold under his bed. No, he had to work still to get this thing. So the pronouncement was there, and that pronouncement is still here for every single one of us children of God, that we have been empowered to make wealth. But the principles, these are the principles he applied. He invested, he had merchants, he had ships, he had trade, he had all this going on for him to actually reap the reality of the promise that God has made to him. So what promises has God made to you as far as your future, your purpose, your ambitions, and everything you're desiring to work towards? And what have you done to move towards them? I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Hit that bell so you don't miss the next video. A big thank you to our patrons for helping us create content like this. You too can support us. The link to our Patreon page is down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.